I believe this method is really cool because it not only teaches you the patterns of the major scale, but it also allows you to play them anywhere you land your fingers on. Hey everyone, my name is Mauricio, and in this channel I'll teach you all the things that I wish I learned earlier on my guitar journey. One of the things that you'll notice when you listen to your favorite guitar player, maybe Mateo Cesaro, Tim Henson, Steve Vai, you'll notice how much freedom they have in the fretboard. They can go from here to here without missing a beat. One of the best ways to get there, honestly, is to really understand the patterns and the relationship between the notes in the whole fretboard. So let's go ahead and learn what the major scale is, what it sounds like, and how we're gonna be able to map it all across the fretboard. The major scale is, if not the most important, one of the most important scales in Western music. The major scale is the reference point for scales, chords, triads, everything. 90% of Western music stuff comes out of that major scale. The major scale has 7 different notes, and they follow a consistent pattern throughout the fretboard. The pattern is as follows: whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So starting from C, which is on the 3rd fret on the A string, we're gonna follow that same pattern so we can build a scale. So we said it was gonna be C, and then whole step to D, whole step to E, half step to F, whole step to G, whole step to A, whole step to B, and finally half step back to C. So the major scale sounds like this. Now, in order to get the most out of the major scale and to be able to communicate efficiently with other musicians, we really need to understand the intervals that make up the scale. If you've never heard of intervals before, don't worry about it, we're gonna explain it now. An interval is the distance between one note and another. Different notes have different names depending on their distance from the tonic note to that specific note. Now there's 12 different intervals, but that really takes us out of the scope of this particular video. If you're interested in all 12 though, make sure to look at the video in the description. For our purposes today, we're just gonna be looking at the intervals that make up the major scale. So let's go ahead and look at the major scale that we created earlier, and we're gonna name it by the intervals instead. So starting from C, on the 3rd fret of the A string, we have the tonic note, followed by the major 2nd, major 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, major 6th, major 7th, and finally the octave or the tonic again. Hey, just a quick note, if you have questions at all at any point in this video, just leave it in the comments. I look at all my comments and I try to answer to all the questions. Also, if you're finding value in this video, let the algorithm know by clicking the like button. Anyway, let's go back to the major scale. Now that we know what the major scale looks like, sounds like, and that we know the intervals within it, now we can go ahead and start mapping it all across the fretboard. Now, there's a lot of different ways in which people have mapped the major scale. One of the ways that people learn it is the gauge system. Another one that people use is the 3 notes per string. But today we're gonna be using a non-traditional method to learn and map out the scale that I haven't really listened a lot of people share. I learned this method through guitar players like Quayle and Gardiner. I'm gonna leave you some of their videos below as well. I think it will be a good complement to this lesson. What we're gonna do now is to create a pattern of the major scale depending on whichever finger we start playing with. Let's work out an example on the 6th string so you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and play a C in the 8th fret of the 6th string. So starting with the index finger on C, we're gonna create a pattern using this side of the fretboard. So let's go ahead and create it using the whole half step method. So we do C, whole step to D, whole step to E, half step to F, we're gonna play it right here, whole step to G, whole step to A, whole step to B, we're gonna play it right here, and then finally we play C. So the pattern looks like this. So using the middle finger, we're kind of like here and here. So let's go ahead and create a pattern that uses both sides of the fret. The pattern looks like this. Now using the ring finger, you'll notice that now I'm starting to move to this side of the fretboard. So let's go ahead and create a pattern using the ring finger. The pattern looks like this. And finally with the pinky, we are all the way on that side of the fret. The pattern looks like this. Now, if you think that that's gonna be a lot of patterns to map out because you have to do that in every single string, there's actually only 12 patterns. And most of them only vary for just a little bit. I actually created a PDF that you can access without having to put your email, your name, your social security number, or any information. I believe this method is really cool because it not only teaches you the patterns of the major scale, but it also allows you to play them anywhere you land your fingers on. So for example, if I'm playing the first position here, notice how I started with my index finger, but now I finished in the middle finger. So instead of having to look for a way that I need to jump and find a different shape, I can just continue to play the major scale without having to move because I already know the pattern with the middle finger. Now, as a huge bonus, you can really take your playing to a different level if you start to sing the intervals as you play them. So for example, root note, major second, major third, perfect 4, perfect 5, major 6, major 7, root note. As you can see, I'm not a really good singer, but that will allow your brain to really listen and understand which interval is which, and that's gonna help you so much whenever you start improvising. Now, if you're still interested in the cage system or the 3-note per string system to learn the major scale, I'm gonna leave some videos in here. Also, if you're still interested in the 12 different intervals, I'm also gonna leave a video in here. Now, if you found this useful, and I hope you did, go ahead and click the like button because the algorithm loves it, especially if you subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.